Good morning/afternoon. Today's senior analysis focuses on Operation Epic Fury, evaluating the rapidly evolving security, economic, and diplomatic trajectories of the 2026 Middle East conflict. As we enter this critical phase, we must look beyond the immediate tactical strikes to understand the long-term strategic foresight of a region in flux. The scale of this operation is unprecedented. Within the first 96 hours, U.S. forces struck over 1,700 targets inside Iran, nearly double the scale of the 2003 shock, and, simultaneously, the Israeli Air Force has engaged over 600 infrastructure targets. Crucially, we have seen a total leadership decapitation. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and 47 other high-ranking leaders were confirmed destroyed on February 28. High-value assets. Despite these strikes, containment has failed. The conflict has breached its borders to become a multi-theater war. Iranian retaliatory strikes are currently hitting 8 surrounding nations, with confirmed asymmetric attacks on the U.S. consulate in Dubai and the British Akrotiri Air Base in Cyprus. Domestically, Iran has hardened its regime. Under IRGC pressure, Mojtaba Khamenei has ascended as the new supreme leader, signaling a shift toward a permanent militant posture. We are facing a clash of timelines. The Washington/Jerusalem axis projects a rapid conclusion within 4 weeks. However, Tehran hardliners have categorically rejected any diplomatic off-ramp. Evidence suggests the U.S. timeline is overly optimistic. With the ascension of Mojtaba Khamenei, we should expect a protracted, multi-front stalemate characterized by asymmetric proxy mobilization far beyond the 30-day window. The conflict has triggered immediate and severe market shocks. The IRGC has officially closed the Strait of Hormuz, threatening any vessel that attempts passage. Regional infrastructure is reeling. Drone strikes have halted Qatari LNG production, and Iraq has suspended operations at its largest oil fields. Consequently, we've seen Brent crude hit $83.39, EU natural gas surge by 70%, and gold spike to $5,100 per ounce as investors flee to safe havens. The prolonged Hormuz blockade guarantees a localized supply chain paralysis. While the U.S. plans to use naval escorts to brute force commercial traffic, these measures cannot fully mitigate risk premiums. On the corporate side, we see self-preservation taking over. China has ordered Iran to halt strikes on Arab LNG plants to protect its own energy interests, while tech giants like Nvidia have already shuttered regional offices. The crisis is accelerating a global shift into distinct blocks. We now have 9 nations directly entangled. While the UK and France consolidate with Western forces, Russia and China are actively intervening diplomatically to halt the offensive. Regional détente is dead. Saudi Arabia has condemned Iranian strikes as horrific acts and signaled active defensive mobilization, ending any hope of a near-term diplomatic thaw. Geopolitical hardening has ensured UN Security Council gridlock. The U.S. frames this as a permanent preventative measure to ensure Iran never produces a nuclear weapon. Conversely, the Beijing/Moscow axis demands an immediate ceasefire and defends Iranian sovereignty. Expect China and Russia to increase covert economic and technological support to Tehran via backdoor channels to prevent a total regime collapse. To summarize, containment has failed, and we are now in a multi-theater war. The energy landscape has become a battle space, with EU gas prices up 70% and global supply chains facing a massive inflation shock. Finally, we are witnessing an accelerated polarization, forcing Gulf states into active defense and drawing hard red lines between the West and the Sino-Russian bloc. Finally, we must acknowledge the severe human cost, which acts as a primary driver of regional instability. As of March 4th, Iran reports over 1,000 civilian casualties, including a tragic strike at a girls' school in Manab. While casualties are also recorded in Israel, Lebanon, and across the UAE and Iraq, the scale of the impact on the ground will continue to complicate any future attempts at regional stabilization.